What's up guys, John here. I'm a certified public accountant who specializes in personal finance. So many clients ask me if they need disability insurance and what are the features to look for when shopping for one, and what's the appropriate amount of coverage to buy. In this video, I'm going to answer all these questions and I'm going to give you an overview of this topic. Please watch the video until the end because you will know how to connect with me if you have more questions. So why do you need a disability insurance? You need one because life happens. For example, if you get into a car accident and became disabled for a long period of time, you won't be able to go to work and you will not have any income for an extended period of time. Disability insurance provides a source of income to support your daily life. So you should get one now if you don't have one. Then how much disability insurance do you need? The answer depending on how much you're spending per month on living expense. For example, when you look at your budget and you figure your living expense is $10,000 a month, then you want to buy a disability insurance that covers as much. Because when you cannot work and you're disabled, you want to have a source of income that can continue to pay for your living expense, right? So the maximum you can buy also is limited by about 60% of your gross income. So you definitely cannot buy a crazy high amount and make more money than you were before. So disability insurance doesn't work like that. So it also take into consideration of how much you were making before. Another thing is the benefits are generally tax-free unless the premium was paid by your employer. So generally they're tax-free. If you have your own policy and you pay for your premium, they are not counted as taxable income. And so when do you buy a policy? I would say as soon as you start working and have people who depend on you. If you have spouse and kids or aging parent that you support financially, then you want to buy as soon as possible. How do you buy a policy? You want to check with your company first, because a lot of companies nowadays, as part of your group benefit, they already have certain amount of disability they pay for you already, and it's within a group policy. So you want to ask your HR first and see how much coverage you have. Those policy you have is under a group policy. You want to think about if you want to have an individual policy. Personally, I recommend having an individual one, because with the group policy, once you leave the company, that's it, the coverage stops. But if you have your individual policy, it's portable, it stays with you. It doesn't matter what job you have, but it stays with you. So that's why I recommend having one. You want to choose an independent agent who specializes in disability insurance. Independent agent means this agent can sell from different insurance companies. He or she is not just bound to sell you one. So you want the agent to shop for you. That's why I recommend going with an independent agent. And also someone who sells disability insurance regularly, because they will know the ins and outs and different features of a disability insurance. So what to look for when shopping for a policy? It's very important to know the definition of disability, right? It varies from company to company, and every insurance company come up with their own definition. So when you compare different policy, you want to read the definition to see how do they define disability. For example, certain company define disability as if you cannot work in your chosen occupation. So if you are a specialist in certain industry, let's say for example if you're a surgeon, then there is certain policy is very strict. So it says if you cannot perform your chosen profession as a surgeon, then you qualify as disabled, then we'll start paying you. Or there's certain company define disability as if you cannot work in any occupation. So you want to be careful. When you compare two different policy, you want to read what the definition of disability. You also want to look at the waiting period. That's the period of time between the date of your disability and the date when the payment start. Some the common one are the 30-day, 90-day, and 180 days. The shorter, the more expensive. I personally recommend looking for a policy that have a 90-day waiting period. Next thing, you want to look for partial disability rider. Rider is a feature, and every disability comes with different rider. So these are the things you want to look for. Partial disability rider. It means if you can still work part of the time, then the insurance company will help make up the difference. And I consider this rider a mandatory. You want to have the gap bridged by the disability policy. So definitely you need to have this one. Another thing is called cost of living rider. This ensures your benefit payment to go up with inflation as the years go by. So for example, if you buy a disability insurance 10 years ago for $10,000 a month, and 10-15 years later, you don't want it to be still $10,000 a month. $10,000 a month 10-15 years ago is worth much less than today. So you want this rider that will keep up with the inflation. So I consider this rider mandatory as well. Another rider to consider is future purchase option rider. This allows you to buy more insurance later when your income goes up without having to prove that you are still insurable. I think this rider is worth it, because if you just starting out, start working, and you buy a disability insurance, you already qualify, you easily qualify. If you have this feature, you will make sure 10-15 years later that you will still be able to insure, right? So that's why I think it's worth it. In summary, unless you already have a pot of money set aside you can rely on, or you can rely on your spouse income in the event of disability, you need a disability insurance. The policy terms and features vary from company to company. So shop carefully the first time. Ask your agent all the questions. The disability is an area where it comes with many different features and rider, and not two policies are the same. So definitely ask a lot of questions with your agent. And they're compensated when selling you a policy. Don't feel shy about it, right? You don't want to commit to anything that you don't understand. So I hope I give you some valuable information today. I would like to hear from you. I want to know in the comment section below. I want to know what kind of policy you have. If not, what prevents you from buying one in the first place? I also do private financial consultation. For inquiry, my email can be found at the description section below. If you like this video, smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. This channel is made for you. Every week I cover different personal finance topics, and I want to make sure you save money and grow your wealth. I will see you in my next video.